Hello and a very warm welcome. Driver ratings for the Dutch Grand Prix. All 20 drivers covered as we rate them out of 10 for their weekend. Max, once again, wins his home event and he's basically got two hands on the title. Yeah, let's jump into it. We'll start with Valtteri Bottas, 5. Standard 5 as he qualified 16th and retired in the race at turn 1. Alfa Romeo's reliability is piss poor. Guan Yu Zhou, 5. Beat Bottas for the majority of the weekend. He qualified 14th and finished 16th. Yeah, not a bad weekend, but nothing spectacular. It's going to blow your mind. Max, 10. It's got to be 10, hasn't it? He started the weekend by stopping on track 10 minutes in. That was a disaster, but Pole position under pressure. Race win under a bit of pressure, but probably always had the win in the bag. Wins the Grand Prix, fastest lap, champion. I may as well just get that on repeat, Anna. Win, max 10, win, fastest lap, champion. I mean, I'm running out of words for what to say, really. Sergio Perez, 0. Awful. Nowhere near good enough. I mean, he qualifies 5th and he spins. A bit of conspiracy theory, did he do it on purpose? And then in the race he finishes P5. It's nowhere near good enough. Absolutely shocking by Sergio Perez. He's been dog shit since Austria when Russell wiped him. Charles Leclerc, 8. He qualified 2nd. He finished 3rd. Pretty quiet race regarding Charles. He was never really in the mix. And solid weekend, but nothing, again, spectacular. Carlos Sainz, 6. Now, I feel sorry for Carlos Sainz. Absolutely just his team have let him down hugely. He qualified 3rd, and then he's let down by the team. He's told to box. They've not got their tyres ready. 12-second pit stop. Left the wheel gun out. Perez ran over it. Then he got an unsafe release. An absolute disaster for Carlos Sainz. Finished 5th on the road and ends up 8th. Lewis Hamilton. I've got it blank. I hold my hands up. I don't know what to give him. I've got it blank. I think I'm going to have... this is a tough one. I kind of want to give him 5. I'm debating 5 and 0 because he did annoy me yesterday. I'll stick with 5. Fair enough. He had a good weekend, I think. I think he did have a good weekend. He was ahead of George all weekend. Qualified 4th. And then that's probably his best chance to win the race. But again, shades of Abu Dhabi. He should have pitted. He didn't. And he's a sitting duck. His defence on George Russell was criminal. And the media's not even mentioned it, which I find a bit strange. To do that on your teammate is... I don't care who you are. That is shocking. And it needed calling out. But because it's Lewis, no one mentions it. And very critical of the team. You guys fucked me, man. I can't tell you how pissed off I am. And then in post-race interview, my guys are fantastic. They do great pit stops. Yeah. George Russell, 9. He qualified 6th, hampered by Perez's spin. Finishes 2nd. And a great call on strategy. And the amount of abuse this guy's receiving. Oh, it should have helped Lewis. Should be a win man to Lewis. He's made a great call on strategy. And he's not a Valtteri Bottas. George Russell is the next man in the pipeline. I have no problem with him. He did his own race. Lando Norris, 9. Qualified 7th, best of the rest. And this man's got a sore back because he's carrying McLaren on his back. And he'll need to go and to doctors to get his back checked. Qualified 7th, finished 7th. Fair play to Lando Norris. I'm not his biggest fan, but you got to give it credit where it's due. Daniel Ricciardo, 0. And I could give him minus 100. An absolute disgrace to the name McLaren. Are you actually taking the piss? Your performance is absolutely disgusting this weekend. I mean, 0. You're lucky to get 0. Pathetic. Nowhere near good enough. I'm absolutely sick and tired of your bullshit week in, week out. An absolute disgrace. P18 in quali when your teammate's up in 7th. And then he finishes the race in 17th when his teammate's 7th. An absolute embarrassment. Fernando Alonso, 9. Qualified 13th, but once again Alonso's a Sunday man. And he finishes P6 due to... Why did he get P6? Sainz's penalty. He finished 7th, but he went up. Yeah, huge points again. Esteban Ocon, 8. Qualified 12th, out-qualified Alonso. Never seems to get the credit. And in the race, P9. Not a great strategy by Ocon. Gasly, standard 5. Qualified 11th, finished 11th. And yeah, he looks set for Alpine, does Gasly. Just checking that I got that right. 1'1", 6. Really impressive qualifying by 1'1". And then one of the most strangest retirements you're ever likely to see. He comes in for a pit stop. He pulls off because he thinks the wheel's loose. Then he undoes his seatbelts to get out because he thinks he's retired. Then he goes back to the pits. They buckle his seatbelts back up and then he stops again. And the conspiracy theories were out. So, yeah, Yuki did that to help Red Bull. Yeah. Kevin Magnussen, 0. Qualified 17th, smashed by Mick. And then he went off early in the race. I'm quite surprised he never had big damage. Yeah, finished 15th. Mick Schumacher, 7. An amazing qualifying, but yet again, doesn't convert it to points. He's got pressure on him. He delivered in qualifying, but once again, in the race, he did have a bad pit stop, to be fair to him, but yeah. Alex Albon, 7. Solid job. Qualified 15th and finished 12th. He's performing at quite a high level. Nicholas Latifi, 0. Useless. Absolutely useless. He qualifies 20. He says there's an issue with the car. I'm not buying it. Last again in the race. I mean, God, it's embarrassing. Drop this guy. What does he do for Williams? Apart from bring a couple of pound notes. He doesn't score points. And he's last on a regular basis. Drop him. Lance Stroll, 10. That's the second 10. I give Lance Stroll 10. Absolutely fantastic. He's put that green tractor, P10 in quali. He didn't get to go out in Q3 because he had an issue. And then he finished 10th in the race. People like to call this guy a paid driver, but fair play. He's absolutely spanked a 4-time champion. Fair play. Sebastian Vettel, finger boy, 1. And I could have easily gave him 0. Awful. Qualifying, spun in the gravel, P19. Awful weekend. Finished 14th. Absolutely battered by Lance. And then to top it all off, Lewis Hamilton and Perez are having a fight. And Vettel comes out and decides to park it on the apex. And he gets a 5-second penalty for blue flags. Yeah. So let's do the old countdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there we have it. Driver ratings for the Dutch Grand Prix. We go on to Monza as the triple header continues. Enjoyable weekend at Zandvoort. And the race was actually decent. Adios.